Well, I was wrong. I was betting that we were done with our cold weather and that I could leave these guys, all my peppers, outside. But no, I should have known better. It's kind of like choosing the line in the grocery store. You can pick the fastest moving one, but as soon as you get in it, you have now chosen poorly. You got to get all your warm weather stuff inside. We're looking at at least a couple of days, maybe a week of crazy winter weather. I think we did it. Every shelf you can see is full. I didn't have enough room, so some things are just on the floor. We've packed them all in as tight as it can go. I think it's looking pretty good. We've got some ginger starting to put roots out. This I've been trying for a couple of years. I just put it in warm water and then it sprouts. I need to get this transplanted into some soil pretty quick here. But all I did was organic ginger. I got it from Sam's Club. Just put it in warm water overnight, changed the water, and it's been sprouting for a couple of days now. So I'm feeling like maybe we can grow all of our own ginger this year. Now let me show you what we're going to be doing outside. Behold, the pear tree. So the pear tree right now is dormant because it is still winter, but we are starting to get a little bit of buds on here. So you can see we've got some buds forming. So we want to get trimming this pretty quick here. I'm waiting till after this. We're gonna have about a week-long cold spell. As soon as that's over, it's time to prune your fruit trees. Now, I do not have the time to create a new video. I made one last year. I'll link it in here somewhere so that you can find it. I'm not sure if, I think I have to be qualified for monetization to be able to put it on the screen, but I'll definitely put it in the description. Not the prescription. I'll definitely put it in the description, and if I can figure out how to put it on the screen, I'll put it to my left, up and to the left. Okay, so we're gonna be pruning our fruit trees. The main idea here is you want like a goblet shape. You want the middle to be open. You want a pigeon to be able to fly through, no problem. And now let's go to the front yard. Same story with the roses. As soon as this cold front passes, we're gonna come in here, we're gonna clean everything up. So I'm gonna remove anything that's diseased, dying, or crossing, and anything that just looks kind of weak. I want to find out if there's some way to preserve these rose hips, because look at that. That's so pretty. That would be so pretty in little bouquets or in a wreath. I don't know if there is, but if you know, please leave it in the comments. So after the cold, again, after the cold, we're going to come in and clean up anything that's not looking super strong. Like this is kind of spindly in here. We don't need that. This whole branch is looking pretty darn spindly. We've got some crossing over here. Crossing branches are gonna rub and they're gonna open up a wound, and that's how you get disease in your roses. So as soon as the cold front is done, we're gonna come prune all these roses. As soon as this cold front passes, I'm gonna try to get as many of these seedlings out and in the ground as possible. On things like my tomatoes and peppers, you can see I've got roots out the bottom. They're getting their true leaves. It's time for me to pot these up. Now I don't have any room. My shelves are completely full right now. So as soon as I can make some room by getting some of these in the ground outside, I'm gonna go ahead and get these potted up as quick as I can. Typically by Valentine's Day, I try to have my onion sets already planted. I'm a little behind this year, but honestly, that's par for the course when you're trying to do too many things. And the garden's a little bit more forgiving than sometimes we allow. Try it anyways, and I bet you it's gonna work out. It's time to get our potatoes in the ground. Now, typically we plant them on Valentine's Day. We may have to do it a little bit later based off the weather this year, but you can see this has already got a pretty good start on it. So this little growth is called a chit, which is a really funky name, but really it's just an eye. So this is the eye of the potato that started to sprout. You can see this one's much smaller, and this one doesn't have any sprouts on it yet, but that's an eye. So you're looking for an indentation. On your potatoes, all you're gonna do is you're gonna cut them so that there's at least one eye, so this little indentation on each side, and that's where the growth is gonna come from. Now, even though we're not planting them yet because it's gonna freeze, just go ahead and get them cut so that they can heal over. You want this to be dry and kind of scabby, and it's okay if it turns a little bit black. That's normal, that's just oxidation. It doesn't mean it's moldy, doesn't mean it's rotten, it just means it oxidized. And same thing here. So it's gonna take a few days for it to heal over, and keep it someplace dark. Putting it someplace bright is gonna have the skin turn green and it's gonna inhibit the growth. So you wanna put it someplace dark, and it'll start to make these little shoots that will be just perfect for planting as soon as this passes. As soon as I can, I'm gonna try to direct sow some spinach. This is gonna be my last round of kind of cool veggies. So I'm gonna do spinach, carrots, I'm gonna do some sweet peas. I want them to grow up and over my arches. Some English peas, and then I'm gonna do a couple of flowers. I'm gonna do some calendula and chamomile. So those are kind of the things I'm just gonna direct sow as soon as I can after this cold spell. If you're worried about any particular plant, just put a lot of mulch over it, and you could even put a cardboard box with something heavy on top to weigh it down. That'll add a few degrees of insulation. And I think that's all the really key important things. We hit pruning, basic rule for anything you're pruning, from fruit trees to roses. You're gonna take out anything diseased, anything dead, anything damaged. You wanna remove anything crossing, and you want it to have an outward growth shape. So you don't want it to kind of be all crumpled in on itself where everything's crossing and causing problems. You really want it to have an outward shape. So you're going to try to remove anything from the middle as much as you can to create more airflow and movement, and you don't want too thick on the outside either. You don't want anything crossing. Okay, I think that's everything. I'll see you guys next time.